Hello ladies, gentlemen and others, my name is Dan, the voice behind that Kaito Dan, and yes, your eyes have not deceived you, you have read that title correctly. Rooster Teeth is back. Like a flippin' Undertaker return out of nowhere, the brand of Rooster Teeth is officially rising from the grave. Who saw that on their 2025 bingo card? Not me. Full disclosure, I was just having a power nap because I'm a bit rough today. Apologies, that's why I'm not on camera, and I might sound a bit rough as well. But yeah, I just had a small nap. I woke up, went on my Twitter, and the first thing I saw was people losing their mind that Rooster Teeth is back. So I decided to make a quick little video about this because even though this is early doors in terms of the information that we have currently and the return itself, I figured I have to talk about this, so let's get into it, shall we? So, just out of the blue, the Rooster Teeth Twitter account posted one word, as it would, just a simple, strange return, and also on the Rooster Teeth YouTube channel, there was a video posted called Homecoming, with a familiar face returning to a familiar place. And that is because Rooster Teeth, the brand, has not only returned, but has been acquired by Burnie Burns, one of the original creators of the company, alongside his wife Ashley, have acquired the Rooster Teeth brand as well as many of the remaining properties attached to said brand. Yeah, just out of the blue, under new management, and under familiar management I should say as well, Rooster Teeth is back with Burnie and Ashley Burns, and right now, they are the only two employees. They mentioned more about this on their podcast, Morning Somewhere, but I'll read this little notice that we got first on the Rooster Teeth homepage, which has been revitalized with this relaunch. So, Burnie says, "Hiya. Almost 1 year ago, we were all saddened to learn that Rooster Teeth would be shutting its doors," which, yeah, it's I think about 9 months now since Rooster Teeth had to shut down, and as Burnie continues on to say, he is very happy to say that he has completed the acquisition of the Rooster Teeth brand and many of its remaining properties. The details of all of this would be too much to communicate in a letter on a website, so please tune in to the February 5th, which is today, episode of the Morning Somewhere podcast, which again is his podcast alongside Ashley, if you want to find out more, or you can check out the press release. I'll get to that in a bit, as well as some stuff from the podcast, but he continues on to say, "There is a lot of work to do around here before our relaunch. In the meantime, I hope that you will join me in welcoming back a brand that has been so important to so many people for so many years. Stay tuned, more to come." So yeah, like he stresses there, there's a lot of work to do before the actual relaunch. This is really just like one of the first days of them owning the brand, so they just picked up the channel, the social media pages, and stuff like that. But moving on to the press release, they go on a bit more details with this, saying Rooster Teeth has found a new home with the brand's original creator, Burnie Burns, at Box Canyon Productions, which I believe is Burnie's actual production company. Moving down a bit from this press release, it says, under Burns' leadership, the historic brand plans to renew its focus on innovation, community engagement, and the spirit of creativity that first defined its success. Burns aims to reignite the collaborative and community-driven energy that made Rooster Teeth a trailblazer in digital entertainment, with another quote from Burnie saying, "I'm excited at the challenge of bringing Rooster Teeth back to its roots. The heart of this brand has always been its fans, and I look forward to writing a new chapter together." So they are really stressing here that they are trying to get it back to what was the more familiar flavor of the Rooster Teeth brand, where it was very fan driven with a lot of passion projects behind them and striving really to entertain as much as they can, more for the sake of entertaining the fans rather than, you know, like more business-driven endeavors or stuff like that. At least that's the vibe they're going back. And a lot of people do think of Rooster Teeth in that old classic era where it was very much just a bunch of friends making some fun content for people to enjoy for all manner of reasons. And speaking of their content, they do actually mention a few things that they have currently got in the pipeline. So, along with the acquisition, Box Canyon announced a new development slate of productions for 2025, including renewed production of some of the platform's classic shows, a new original audio adventure called Again, and an untitled reimagining of Burnie Burns' first film, The Schedule. So they do have some stuff already in line in regards to new content, but I do want to focus on the renewed production of some of the platform's classic shows bit. On the homepage, they have already listed some shows that they have currently attached to the brand, which is the Morning Somewhere podcast, again, Burnie and Ashley's podcast, the old Rooster Teeth podcast, and also Red vs. Blue and Camp Camp. So I imagine these are just some of the classic shows that are still still attached to the Rooster Teeth brand that haven't been sold off or given to other of the old Rooster Teeth talent. Of course, one of the biggest ones is Ruby, now being owned by Viz Media. And on the Morning Somewhere podcast, discussing this in more detail, they have stressed that they do not retain the rights to some of the stuff like Ruby or Achievement Hunter that has been sold off. So, as of right now, there is no working connection between this new Rooster Teeth and Ruby under Viz Media. Doesn't mean that there can't be any working connection between the two in the future, but it is very early doors in regards to Rooster Teeth as it is now to even discuss that as a possibility. And obviously there is still some stuff going on in production right now for Ruby under Viz Media. They have stressed that on the social media accounts that they are working on some stuff. They've even got some new merchandise for Ruby on their actual Viz merchandise store, so you can check that out there. But yeah, for right now in regards to Ruby, there is no connection, but you never know what could happen down the line. Maybe there's some promotional collaboration, stuff like that, or maybe Rooster Teeth might be able to work on maybe a side thing or something like that. We don't know for sure, but it's not ruled out. But just for now, they are stressing that they don't own and they don't have any involvement in the current production of anything regarding Ruby, as well as other stuff like Achievement Hunter or any of the IPs that were given to some of the older talent that have moved on. And speaking of the older talent, one thing that they stressed that I'm going to echo here as well, please, please, please do not pester or bother any of the former Rooster Teeth staff that are currently working on their own thing, asking, oh, are you going to be coming back to Rooster Teeth? Are you going to be bringing your production, your show to Rooster Teeth? Don't do that. It is very stressful as it is right now to work on your own thing in this current entertainment world, especially with everything going on in terms of AI or stuff like that. It's very tricky right now. And the last thing that these folks need is added stress to them. Some of them also may want to prefer working as a solo production or working on their own thing, and also some of them are moving into other areas, some of them are animating for different companies, they own their own companies or stuff like that. So it would be very tricky even if they wanted to. And again, it is very early doors. We don't know who is going to be coming back, if anyone. And again, the only employees right now under Rooster Teeth is Burnie and Ashley. But again, please do not pester these guys. They are learning about this, I think, as much as we are right now. So they'll be excited for Rooster Teeth's return, regardless of whether or not they are going to be attached to them in the future. But yeah, just be mindful and respectful to their own endeavors. Please support them as well in whatever they're doing right now. Help get them some work if they're unattached at the moment. That'll be great. But yeah, just please be mindful. And just a few more things regarding what was discussed on the podcast that they had out today. One thing they also mentioned is that they are going to be doing an Ask Me Anything on their Patreon this weekend for any questions that some of their patrons and obviously some of us who aren't currently their Patreons, might have about this. So if you want to throw a question their way, go to their Patreon, go ask the question there, and they will be answering it this weekend and then posting it live to the public on Monday, so be sure to check that out. I think that's all I can really say at the moment. Again, you can follow all their social media accounts they have right now: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and again their Patreon. Go ask them some questions on there as well. And yeah, I think for now that's all I can really say, but just sharing again my excitement for Rooster Teeth's return. It was sad to see the company go. I've been a long-time fan of Rooster Teeth for so long, and even not being a fan regardless of that aspect, it was a loss to lose one of the first juggernauts of online media. Like, a lot of people these days owe so much in terms of their own online media productions to Rooster Teeth. They were doing it long before even YouTube was a thing, so it's great to see Rooster Teeth in some way come back. And obviously, we don't know what the future holds for Rooster Teeth in terms of everything they're going to be doing. This is, again, early doors. We don't know what's coming up. I'm sure Ashley and Burnie, they are learning as much as they can as well. But it's still great to see them return. Some of the stuff that they've already announced is great to see. I can't wait for some of this stuff to return, and also the new stuff that they have in mind. And yeah, it's just great to have Rooster Teeth back. I'll probably do maybe like another video if it feels necessary regarding some of the new stuff that they discuss on that Ask Me Anything perhaps, or any future developments for Rooster Teeth going forward. But yeah, that's all I can really say for now, other than welcome back Rooster Teeth. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave any of your thoughts about this wild return in the comments down below. And also, hit me up on subscribing, follow me on my social medias. I'm on Blue Sky now, by the way. So yeah, you can follow me on there. But for now, yeah, welcome back Rooster Teeth. But until next time, have a good day or good night, and peace out.